Perfect horse stance. Point 1. Then the school kid made a posture of an old man sitting on the toilet bowl while looking at the martial artist with sparkling eyes. Are you still a mother dragon? How can you even come up with a suggestion like this? It's like a millionaire trying to ask a beggar for money. Please, man, try to think about your honor. Advertisements. All right, never mind, I almost forgot. A Karen was an organism without any pride. As soon as those words left A Karen's mouth, all the dragons looked at him with disdain. Mother took it one step further as she directly channeled magical power into her fist and coldly said, I will give you 30 seconds to say your last words. A Karen's grayish body turned white from fright. Wait. I have a reason, he said in haste while waving his claws to and fro with a frightened expression. 25 seconds left, Mother announced with a blank face. It seemed like she didn't have the intention to stop the countdown of death. That is, A Karen was so scared that he started stuttering. After wasting 10 seconds, he finally managed to say, My queen, do you remember Taylor? Didn't he once help the human emperor establish the Holy Dragon Empire and become its protector? You have 10 more seconds. Mother's tone was cold yet firm. Because of him, the Holy Dragon Empire became a nation with extreme reverence towards dragons. That's why, in the Holy Dragon Empire, even if the dragon language is useless to humans, there will still be some who specially study the dragon language. We can find those people who specialize in dragon language and have them teach the princess. A Karen finished all that in a single breath, within 10 seconds. After hearing A Karen's words, Mother's countdown of death stopped at 3 seconds. She squinted her eyes as she considered the feasibility of this option. There's such a turnaround of events? You went and asked the beggar for money, and he actually took out a piece of gold from his ragged cloak, then placed it into your hands while saying, I have been indebted to you all this time, take this as my gratitude, you don't need to pay me back. Advertisements. It's just that. Isn't the dragon language unique to dragons? I asked A Karen. A Karen took out a handkerchief, one big enough to cover my entire body, from God knows where, and wiped his sweat. When he heard my question, A Karen answered with a forced smile, there's no such restriction. Dragon language is just a kind of language, like any other language. However, only those who are of dragon blood can resonate with the words and make use of their inherent magic. That's why the great ancestor engraved the dragon language into our bloodline. Anyone can learn it, even those without a dragon bloodline. However, there's no use for them to learn the dragon language. Then what were you guys howling for? And here I was worried that not knowing the dragon language was a really big flaw. Don't scare me like that, I feel like some of my brain cells have already died from that shock. Right now, I really wanted to find the 199.95 meters of sword blade that the great ancestor lost and stick it into these so they would have fecal incontinence for a lifetime. Perhaps, noticing a change in my complexion, A Karen prudently asked, Princess, do you dislike the idea of having a human teach you? Then how about we find a demon? Or maybe an elf? Even a beastman is fine too. As long as the princess is satisfied, whatever the race of creatures, I will go grab it for you. It's not like I'm trying to open a freak show, why do I need so many races? However, when he mentioned human, my heart that was as calm as the surface of a lake, suddenly formed ripples as though a rock had just been dropped into that lake. I was unable to remain calm anymore as the strange feeling slowly spread throughout my heart, just like ripples in a lake. Advertisements. This chapter is provided to you by Relibrary. Please visit Relibrary to show the translators your appreciation and stop supporting the content thief. Advertisements. Not long ago, I was also a human being. And a great no less. In just half a day, I have turned from a great into the dragon princess. This world sure is full of surprising things. But this was just a little disturbance in my heart, it was not to the point of reminiscing about my past life or longing for it. Perhaps that was because I had too many bad memories as a human. I turned around and tugged on my mother's sleeve while she was still weighing the options for my education. Mom, let's have a human teach me. Are you sure you wouldn't regret it? Mother asked with a face full of worry. I'm sure. Didn't they also regularly go to the human nations to learn their crafts? Besides, I want to master the dragon language as quickly as possible, I said while pointing at the group of dragons who have learned many strange skills from the humans. Don't mess with me. If you couldn't find someone capable of teaching me, I'll have to stick with those idiots with holes in their brain. I would definitely feel more regretful that way. I see. Very well then. After Mother gave it some more thought, she finally agreed. Karen, you immediately proceed towards the Holy Dragon Empire and find a suitable candidate. Bring him back tomorrow, before the day ends. Karen heaved a breath of relief, then he answered promptly, yes, my queen. Along with a flash of flight, Karen disappeared without a trace. He must have used teleportation magic and directly traveled to the Holy Dragon Empire. After Karen left, Mother turned around and pointed at the dragon monument. The huge monument gradually faded away as though it had been washed away by water before it finally disappeared. It's quite late already, let's end the birth festival here. You guys should return to whatever you were doing. Mother waved at the dragons as she dispersed the gathering, then she looked at me with her blushing cheeks. As for my dear daughter, you can sleep with mommy tonight. We still have so many beautiful clothes you haven't tried. As I looked at my mother closing in on me, my heart was miserable. Is there no way I can escape the fate of being my mother's dress-up doll? Don't joke with me. Previously, I was taken advantage of since I couldn't speak, but now, I should have my right to reject. I don't want. I tried hard to pull a long face, expressing my determination to refuse. Even if you are my mother, I bet you won't be able to do those shameful things to me since I am rejecting firmly. But just as I finished speaking, a visible black fog could be seen rising rapidly from my mother's body. My dear daughter, she only just learned how to talk and she is already rejecting mommy. You. I am so sad. Is there any point for this world to exist, where I can even make my daughter change into good-looking clothes? Might as well just let me destroy it. Mother's eyes were lifeless and cold, as she declared to destroy the world. Destructive. She has completely entered her destructive mode. Quick, somebody go save your queen and this about to be destroyed world. I looked at the surrounding dragons to seek their help. Gosh. It seems like I have forgotten to turn off the fire of the stove when I left my house. This chapter is provided to you by Relibrary. If you are reading this, that means this content is stolen. Please support us by visiting our site. Advertisements. Looks like it's about to rain. I should go home and collect the clothes. I should also go home and breastfeed my child. Oh right, me too. More than 1,000 dragons instantly disappeared along with flashes of light. These groups of rotten eggs. If you want to escape, at least find a better reason than that. Which dragon would be worried about leaving the fire stove unattended? Was it more important than saving the world? And what's with your weather forecast? The sky is so dark, who would believe about your rain forecast? And what made me puke blood was. Dragons are egg-laying creatures. What kind of frigging milk do you have to breastfeed? A rotten cow's milk? I gulped as my body shivered looking at the black fog that was becoming more terrifying with each passing second. It's not like I'm terrified, okay? I'm just making a little compromise to save this about to be destroyed world. Therefore, I had no choice but to suppress my sorrow in my heart and put on a sweet face. Actually, I was only joking earlier. I love mommy the most. Advertisements are really? You mean, even if mommy tries out the remaining 109,869 clothes on you, you won't get angry with mommy? As mother grabbed my hand, her gloomy face instantly brightened up. Women are indeed creatures that switched gears as quickly as flipping a book. But I could only endure this heartache and answer what she wanted to hear.